I don't believe in black culture.
Not all black Americans have it, because not all black Americans don't really understand black culture. They think, like you were saying, that ghetto is black America. But, you know, so I guess everybody doesn't really understand black culture, you know. It's more than just, you know, the sagging pants and, you know, because for a long time it was the braids and you had, like, the music, and you got some of the food and you got stuff like that.
Do you think they have a type of culture, but it's kind of a mixed culture, like based off of where you're from, or for example, like the Haitian Americans have Haitian culture plus white culture plus black culture, all mixed in together. Like Black Americans had to create their culture from like what they got from other cultures, and then they blended it into something that was truly unique.
Culture is a word. It's just a classification of black people labeling themselves.
So it's no such thing as black culture.
It is a such thing as black culture, but how people pursue it nowadays, I don't think black culture is sticking to the roots, sticking to the soul, sticking to the bottom of it, the roots.
So like the African roots.
African roots, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Malcolm.
Okay.
Specific culture, actually, that's been founded, you know, starting from slavery. So from when slaves were actually taken over here, we started our own culture, you know, going way back into the roots, you know, at the beginning of our culture, you could say that spirituals are part of it, you know, and just arriving it. And over that period of time, from then to now, we've just been keeping it going and keeping it going and keeping it going. For example, rap is part of a black American culture originally. And, you know, and that was really derived from old things like jazz and blues, which is also part of our culture, you
Back
know.
in the, the Renaissance time, you remember? Black Renaissance. That's where that all deviated from.
Oh.
And, you know, you can also say black culture is one of the most important things out here in America. Everything was derived from black culture. Believe it or not, rock music was derived from black culture. It all started with the black Americans.
It was thought that, you know, using good English. But I guess being different, I guess, you know, just being different sometimes can just be like, you know, if you wear, like before, black people didn't wear plaid for like a long time. So, and you wearing plaid, you like, dang, you plaid, man, you a pretty. So, but I guess just being different is sometimes just acting white, just being outside the box.
I've never actually fully understood that myself, because I mean it's been said that I act white, and honestly, there are plenty. I was called that because I was smart, and honestly, it's not acting white to be smart. You're trying to get the best you can for whatever you pay for. You're trying to do the best you can. So I honestly think that being intelligent is definitely not acting white. It's acting like a person, human. Like, I think it's just a stupid construct.
I guess I could be the perfect example. Like, I talk more proper than most black people would. So people assume that I'm basically acting white just because I talk proper English. And I like rock music. They say I'm white just because of that. So
I don't think that it's necessarily the music that you listen to so much. I mean, I'd say people who act white are people who really don't embrace their culture.
Like Uncle Tom's? Or...
Yeah, like Uncle Tom's, like people who really don't understand, you know, where they're from or where their people are from, you know. Or, yeah, just embracing their culture in general as a whole, you know. That's what acting white is to me.
Basically, Uncle Tom, you got like a lot of sisters nowadays, they dye their hair blonde, and they into the whole Barbie thing. That's acting white, because black people, we was never Barbies, we was queens. We came from being queens, not Barbies.
Some white people could be ghetto too. Like, they try to act black, if you want to say that. So I don't really think ghetto and acting white should be associated with color. It just should be associated with the person by itself.
By saying they're acting black, they're referring to them as acting ghetto. You know,
well, if you're acting ghetto, you're basically acting ignorant. You're acting stupid.
Yeah, and I mean, just like, you know, some bullet points of that, if you could say, you know, some easy examples of that, maybe, you know, being loud, really loud, or like you said, you know, ignorant about just different topics that really have no reason for you to, you know, be loud about.
Unnecessary behavior.
Just how you said it. Acting black and acting ghetto. You dig? It all separate. It's all its own thing. You dig? Like acting black is acting black. Acting ghetto is acting ghetto. You feel me? A white person can't act ghetto. Yeah. So I really don't. I don't really understand that question.
Well, I guess ghetto is acting ignorant. First of all, ghetto is being ignorant. Okay, so acting black, I guess, would be. Honestly, I don't know what acting black would be. I would say being real, I guess, you know.
Yeah, they're influenced by us most definitely. I would say that, but yeah, like I don't understand why white people wear track anyway. Like their hair's already long and pretty, and I think black people only do it because one, we're lazy, two, and it's just convenient. But I mean, I wouldn't say they really copied off of us. They just, you know, try to be like.
I think yeah, we put a big influence on American pop culture, especially from entertainment side.
I see a lot of white girls now. They look black, like they tan like 365 days out of the year. They tan, and they look like they light skinned or something. So, you dig? I like black girls. So, if a white girl look black, I like her too.
Black culture has become part of the norm now. You know, like they're not really stealing it as they are trying to understand it. In my eyes, like if there wasn't, you wouldn't have like b-boys trying different things, like all different races of b-boys trying different things if they didn't borrow it and try to understand it. Like, I think there should be a move to educate people more on the black culture or the spectrum of black culture, but I wouldn't say they're stealing it. No offense to Tyler Perry, he's getting his money how he can, but come on, like while we still have a major struggles ahead of us to, you know, become fully assimilated into the American media, but honestly, I don't see BET and Tyler Perry as really accurately portraying who we are.
It's evolved over the years in a positive way. It went from, you know, from the bad NWA side to going to, you know, to the top of the and stuff like that.
It's all entertainment, necessarily. It's all fun and games, you dig? Because every black person not so dramatic and full and have 6 baby mamas and 2 kids and fuss and fight. You got black families that live just like German families, Jewish families. You did
a good job of getting this one specific example. As a lot of people say, a lot of his movies are similar because he usually has, you know, the vixen and the hero, you know, who comes and saves her from, you know, whatever misfortune she's fallen into. And so that's usually, you know, like the role of most of his movies that they play. So I mean, I guess a good example of a black family, though. It does give a good example of a black family.
I think so too, because black culture is also about, like back in the Renaissance, Black Renaissance, it was jazz and blues, and they would always talk about or sing about their hard times. And that's, sadly enough, part of the black culture too, you know, having hard times. It's normal. And in Tyler Perry's movies, it's always about a black family going through hard times.
BET, I think it's kind of OD, like, they just be ODing with it, like how they be trying to show black people and their baby mamas and having baby mama drama on some of those shows. I think it's stupid. Like, why can't they have a show where it's showing successful black people? Why I gotta be all baby mama drama? Like The Game, I love that show, but still, like, it just shows black people all wrong. Like, all we do is have drama in our life, and that's kind of stupid.
No, I mean, if they Native American, they really are. If they not, then they insane in the membrane.
For example, I'll claim it right now. You know, I'm not all African American. You know, I'm mixed between all different types of races. But that's what black people are. We're a mongrel race. We're not pure in the sense that we're just not from one place. You know, we're not just one type of people That's what makes us unique.
Like I'm talking about the people that just use it for like a positive. Like I have good hair because I'm part Native American. Those girls, guys.
I don't understand that, to be honest. I mean, I feel like that's just something to say. And it's kind of ignorant in a sense when it comes down to it.
Make themselves look better though. Like, oh, I'm Native American, so I got good hair. Like they try to use it for stupid stuff. I mean, I'm part white, so I got white in my blood, so that means, you know, like they use it for just the wrong reasons, like just to say they have good hair, or good genes, or you know, stuff like that.
So why do they do it?
I dated a girl that was like, I was talking to a girl that was saying that she was like, have this, have this, have this. I guess one people do that because it's like showing that you're getting different. You're different, you know, you got good hair. I got Indian in my family, you know. And I guess it's one just being different. You know what I mean? Being outside the box, not the same like everybody else.
I think they try to, but you see, the slavery makes it kind of hard because the slave trade only lasted a certain amount of time, and most of the blacks that ended up in America were born here. So, and then you also have to take into account the fact that families were broken up during the slave times and all that. So it makes it really hard for any black person to really trace their heritage. But I do think that they should make an attempt to understand their culture, and I think they're trying.
Do and some don't. I mean, alright, the way America associates black people with some of the wrong stuff, some people are kind of embarrassed to own the black culture. They try to disown themselves. I mean, it's kind of wrong because you are what you are, but that's just, like, you don't have to be associated with the bad stuff that America tries to say we are. You could always just stand out and be different and show that all black people aren't like that.
Nah, I don't think so, because I think a lot of you don't know if they really are from Africa. So, I don't think so.
Some of them do and some of them don't. A lot of the youth nowadays kind of don't, but a lot of older people kind of do embrace their natural culture. You dig? A lot of people, old people nowadays, they live for that. A lot of young people is just so into everything else. All they know is what they know. They wasn't born back then, so if they don't read, they will never know about it. So it's always a good thing to read and always know where you came from.
I guess maybe some aspect of the black culture dying out. Maybe the sagging jeans maybe dying out a little bit. Maybe it's dying out slowly, but it's dying out every way. But I guess it's dying a little bit. But with a lot of stuff, a lot of culture being in music, it's kind of changing. So it's still kind of being at the par.
It's like I'm waiting for it, waiting for black people to come back to their roots. Waiting for black people to come back to their country. Waiting for black people to come back to their neighborhood. I'm just waiting for black people to come back, because black people nowadays is just like somebody that simplify things that don't exist, like don't account. They just they into so much other things instead of who they are, so they just black people nowadays they can be anybody.
I think it's dying out.
Yeah.
I think that what's happening right now is really sad. Black people are really being thrown under the bus. You know, the more and more you come to school and you see who's in school, I see very few black faces now. You know, most of us are in the streets when it comes down to it. And as a race, they're really just trying to take advantage of us and just kill us off. You know, I mean, I really need to stand up and stop being stupid and ignorant and just letting them do that to us, you know. Just because we're not going to be alive doesn't mean that our kids have to suffer for it.
Back in the day, we used to not think there'd be a black president. Now we have one, as well as another black candidate. The sky's the limit.